7 Pro. Now I've been using this as my primary device for a little over a month now, and it is in time for my full review, and I would like to start things off by talking about the design and the build quality. Now I'm glad that Oppo decided to go with flat edges on this phone, and yeah, this phone is pretty light in weight. The in-hand feel is actually pretty good. Now apart from that, this frame has a matte finish to it, so yeah, it won't attract any fingerprints. And well, speaking about the frame of the phone, then yes, it is fully made up of metal. Now as far as build quality is concerned, then on the front we get a Gorilla Glass 5 protection on the screen, and well, the rear side is covered by Panda Glass. Now honestly, I did drop the phone a couple of times without the case, and yeah, no cracks so far. So yeah, in terms of design and the build quality, absolutely well done and no complaints over here. Well, up next, let's talk about that display. So this is a 6.5-inch Super AMOLED display, and on top of that, it does come with 90Hz refresh rate. Now apart from that, this display supports HDR10 plus, so yeah, if you'd like to watch HDR content on Netflix and Amazon Prime, then that is possible. But nonetheless, the viewing angles on this panel are pretty good. The colors are really vibrant, and yeah, since it's an AMOLED panel, those blacks are really deep. Now as far as I'm concerned, I didn't notice any tinting issues, but on the other hand, I did notice the panel struggling under direct sunlight. So yeah, I did notice that the panel doesn't get bright enough, and yeah, it can be a little difficult while viewing under direct sunlight. So yeah, please make a note of that. Well, up next, let's talk about the OS. Now the Oppo Reno 7 Pro comes with ColorOS 12, which is based on Android 11 out of the box. Now Oppo has promised 2 years of software and security updates, which means we'll be only getting up to Android 13 on this phone, unfortunately. But hey, nonetheless, ColorOS 12 feels really smooth, and yeah, it feels really optimized. I didn't notice any bugs in my testing period. Now one thing I would like to add over here is that this phone out of the box, it does come with a lot of bloatware, but hey, on the bright side, you can uninstall most of it, which is a plus point. But yeah, in my opinion, phones above 30k shouldn't really come with bloatware. Well, up next, let's talk about the battery life. So the Reno 7 Pro comes with a 4500 mAh battery, and well, I did keep a note of the charging time. 0 to 100% took just about 45 minutes to charge. Now talking about how long the phone actually lasts, then well, I start my day at about 6 a.m. and it ends at about 11 p.m. in the night. Now I'm a really light user. I do not game all that much. All I do is watch content, edit a few photos on Lightroom, and yeah, basically all these light tasks. And yeah, for me, I could end the day with about 5% without charging it a single time. Now with that being said, you can kill this phone in a single day if you are a really heavy user, like if you play a lot of games, edit videos on your phone, then yeah, without a doubt you can kill it in a day. But yeah, if you are a moderate to lightweight user like me, then yeah, it should last you a full day without any problems. Well, up next, let's talk about the performance. So the Oppo Reno 7 Pro comes with a custom made SoC called as the MediaTek Dimensity 1200 Max. So essentially, Oppo has worked specifically with MediaTek to create a custom made SoC called as the MediaTek Dimensity 1200 Max. Now as far as gaming is concerned, I played a couple of heavy titles like the Asphalt 9 and Call of Duty Mobile, and yeah, I was getting an average of about 55 to 60 FPS. And by the way, the settings in Call of Duty was high and the graphics was on high as well. Now I personally didn't experience any overheating or anything like that. Now sure, it did get a little warm, but yeah, as far as I'm concerned, no overheating issues. Now obviously, apart from gaming, doing regular day-to-day tasks like scrolling through Twitter, Instagram, and editing a few photos in Lightroom, all of that was handled pretty smoothly. Now the Dimensity 1200 Max is more than capable of taking care of all these basic tasks. And finally, let's talk about the camera. So the primary sensor on the Oppo Reno 7 Pro is the Sony IMX766. So this is basically a 50 megapixel sensor, and well, apart from that, we have a 8 megapixel ultra wide, and unfortunately even on this we get a 2 megapixel macro camera. But let's start things off by talking about the primary sensor. In broad daylight, the photos turn out to be absolutely stunning. The HDR seems to be on point most of the time. There is a lot of sharpness in the images, so even if you zoom in, there is still a considerable amount of detail. So the colors are pretty close to real life, but it's slightly boosted. Now I really like how the skin tones are actually produced on the Reno 7 Pro. It has a slight warm tone to it, which makes it look all that good in outdoor conditions. Now even portrait mode photos are actually pretty good. It does have a lot of detail, and the edge detection also seems on point. Now as far as low light photos are concerned, then the IMX766 seems to gather a lot of light in. So yeah, this is a really big sensor and it seems to get a lot of light in, but at the same time it doesn't over brighten the images. It has a pretty realistic tone to it. Now all these low light photos were shot in really low light conditions, and yeah, as you can see, it did a really good job. So as you can see, still there is a lot of detail preserved, and yeah, the colors actually seem pretty natural. So yeah, as far as night photography is concerned, then you are all sorted. The photos come out great. And now talking about videos, then on the rear camera we can shoot up to 4K 30 fps, and yeah, it does support EIS. But here's the thing, if you want to get really stable footage from the rear camera, then we get a super steady mode. Well, what's the catch? Well, it's capped only up to 1080p 60 fps. So here are some samples side by side comparing with and without super steady mode. So yeah, as you can see, the super steady mode actually stabilizes the footage really well. Now speaking about the actual video, then I feel that the HDR is actually pretty good on most of the videos, and yeah, it is consistent as well. Now apart from that, even the colors which are produced via the main sensor in video are actually pretty real life, pretty similar to real life, and yeah, they look actually pretty pleasing to the eye as well. So yeah, even videos out of the primary sensor actually turn out pretty good. And now talking about the ultra wide camera, then again here are some samples. I feel that the overall images from the ultra wide are actually pretty decent. There is a good amount of detail, obviously not as much as the primary sensor, but yeah, still there is a lot of detail, and well, even the HDR on this is actually pretty decent. Now I do notice a little bit of color shift when I compare it to the primary sensor, and yeah, apart from that, the colors actually seem slightly flat. So yeah, the colors from the ultra wide camera are actually not that true to life. It actually seems slightly flat, but apart from that, the images are pretty wide. So yeah, it's pretty good for landscape photography. Now apart from that, speaking about videos from the ultra wide camera, then here are a few samples again. So again, the HDR seems pretty decent. There is a decent amount of sharpness, but hey, apart from that, there is a good amount of detail in the video shot from the ultra wide. So yeah, I'm going to say that the ultra wide camera is pretty decent. It's definitely usable, but I can't say the same thing about the macro camera. So here are some shots. The macro photos, honestly, they're kind of unusable. If you zoom in, there is a lot of detail lacking. Now on the front side of things, we get the Sony IMX709 in the selfie camera. So this is basically a 32 megapixel sensor, and fun fact, this is the world's first phone to come with this sensor in the selfie camera. So again, here are some samples which I took. Now I'm going to say I really like the selfies produced from the front camera of the Reno 7 Pro. The HDR is pretty consistent, and yeah, it is good most of the time. Now apart from that, there is still a lot of detail even if you zoom in, and yeah, I really like how the skin tone is produced in the selfie camera. So it has a slight warm tone which is added to it, but at the same time it doesn't seem all that unnatural. Now again, I feel that the colors are made slightly vibrant, but it's not enhanced all that much. And even portrait selfies actually turn out pretty good. The edge detection is on point almost all the time, and yeah, you can also take some great portrait selfies from the Reno 7 Pro. Now the selfie camera on the Reno 7 Pro actually shoots some pretty decent videos, and yeah, as you can see, here are some samples. So this video is being shot on the Reno 7 Pro's front facing camera in indoor conditions. So I think the footage looks really stable. The footage is handheld, by the way, and yeah, whatever audio you're listening to, well, it's coming right from the Reno 7 Pro. I think it has a good amount of detail, and yeah, the video looks great in general. Now you guys let me know what you think about the video quality in the comments down below. And this is being shot in outdoor conditions via the selfie camera. So you guys let me know how is the mic quality and the video quality down in the comments. And yeah, by the way, this is handheld footage, so yeah, let me know if the footage is stable or not as well. And last but not the least, let's talk about other things. So first up, I really like the mic which comes on the Reno 7 Pro. Taking calls on the Reno 7 Pro was a fantastic experience. The mic quality is actually pretty good. In terms of 5G bands, the Reno 7 Pro supports 11 5G bands, but here's the catch, it only supports 5G in one SIM card. Apart from that, I really like how the haptics are produced on the Reno 7 Pro. It definitely feels premium. Now the Reno 7 Pro does come with NFC, and well, this is IPX4 splash proof. Now this phone comes with stereo speakers, but I'm going to say that the speakers aren't all that loud. It's not the best, not the worst as well. Now the overall clarity of the speakers are actually pretty good, and yeah, I really like the output which comes out of them. Now the Reno 7 Pro comes with a physical notification LED light, and it is embedded in the camera module, and yeah, it looks absolutely stunning in my opinion. Now apart from that, this phone does support carrier aggregation, and well, there's no headphone jack on this phone, so yeah, it will be dearly missed. So finally, should you buy the Oppo Reno 7 Pro or not, and can the cons make this a deal breaker? Now to that, my answer is, if you're looking for a phone like right now at about 35k, and the main priority you're looking for is very good performance and really good front and rear cameras, then yes, the Oppo Reno 7 Pro is definitely an option you can consider. But if you want a better all-rounder phone for about 35k, there are definitely better options like the Realme GT Neo 3, the iQOO 9 SE, and even the Moto Edge 30. Now it's also worth mentioning that the Reno 8 series is right around the corner. So yeah, if you're looking for a phone right now for about 35k and your main priorities are only for performance and good front and rear cameras, only then go for the Reno 7 Pro. Otherwise, there are better options, and well, I'll leave you guys with that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Peace out.